Good afternoon, and welcome. This is another episode of What? Swipe Left. Welcome. I am your host. My name is Milan Trezor, and I am so happy to be here with you guys. It has been a long week with a whole lot of stuff going on, and we're not going to waste any time. Let's get into it. You know how we do. We're going to cut through the bull, we're going to get through the mess, and when we get the facts straight, then we're going to swipe left. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's get started. I want to start off with something really light. Something really light. There's a show on Fox that I kept saying I was going to watch the show, and then I was pissing around, playing around, and I hadn't actually gotten into it. And it's actually called The Masked Singer. Now, the show, very interesting. It's actually hosted by Nick Cannon. Child, you know Nick Cannon. I keep hearing people say he is the African-American version of Ryan Seacrest, and it's actually really looking that way. Nick Cannon has 200 jobs. 200 jobs on one channel. Just a mess, but getting that money. Getting that money. You go ahead on Nick, child. Anyway, so The Masked Singer, there are actual celebrities, and they're not all singers, okay? They're not all singers. They are a mixed bunch. And the thing is, you have to kind of guess who is behind the mask. They're actually singing. They don't sing their own songs. So that's the catch. The ones that are singers, they don't sing their own songs. There's been quite a few eliminations. You don't find out who is who until they actually get eliminated. Tori Spelling has been eliminated. Ricky Lake was there. She's been eliminated. And you know what? For the longest time, I thought that Ricky Lake's character was actually, my girl from American Horror Story. I thought it was Kathy Bates, but it wasn't. It was Ricky Lake. But then it made sense because Ricky Lake did do Broadway. So the vocals, she didn't go with an outstanding vocal, but they were there. But the one that is actually really wearing me out, I know for a fact, because I know those runs and that vibrato anywhere, is Gladys Knight, is the Bumblebee. Baby, it's Gladys, and I wouldn't care what anybody says. That is Gladys Knight. Listen, when I tell you, now, you know, there was the whole thing with Gladys about the Super Bowl, and folks were pissed off with Gladys about her going down and singing the national anthem and all of that. But I think we're okay. The folks didn't swipe left on our legend. I think they're going to let her live. Her and Hallie and Chloe have seemed to have come out unscathed. So, good. Good. But Gladys is turning out the Masked Singer. She sang Chandelier from Sia, Turned It Loose. She sang Bruno Mars, Tore It Up. Then this past week, she sang Wrecking Ball, Miley Cyrus. This stuff is so far outside of Gladys's wheelhouse, but Gladys is a singing ass. She's singing the place down. And of course, I know, as soon as she opened her mouth on the first episode she did Sia, I knew it was Gladys, and she brought it down into her key. Because, you know, Chandelier is like way up here, and Gladys brought it on down. I was like, come on, Gladys, come on through. I'm enjoying it so much. So definitely The Masked Singer. If you have not been watching, check into Fox. It comes on Wednesday nights. So get in there, support Nick Cannon, support some of these other stars that are actually there. You have, the panel is Robin Thicke, and you have Nicole Scherzinger, and child, it's really, really good. It's a good show. Trust me. It's a good show. It's a good watch. It's fun. But that Bumblebee is Gladys Knight. I don't care what anybody says. So, on that, watch The Masked Singer. I'm going to go and swipe left. Okay, and speaking of Nick Cannon, while we're on it, and one of his jobs is going to bring us to talk about our girl. You all know, honey. How you doing? Wendy. Wendy! Girl, you ain't made it back to work yet. You're not listening. You're not listening, and I think this not listening is not going to do you well, honey. Nick Cannon did his little spell down on the Wendy Williams show and was excellent. And the people, I went back and watched the clips, and the people respond real well to Nick Cannon. Wendy, I don't know why you're not listening. Girl, Nick gonna mess around and steal your job, or somebody else. And that somebody else I'm talking about, dig this. Oh yeah, the other dude, this one, he has 198 jobs. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is actually, you know his show, the Steve Harvey show is actually being canceled. So this is it. This is their last season. And from what I'm hearing, Steve is actually trying to reach out there and grab Wendy's slot. And I don't see that being so far-fetched. The people actually like Steve. Why it's getting canceled, I have no idea. But the people like Steve. Steve's show, I thought it was a good talk show. I enjoy him, and people do like Steve Harvey. So, I don't know, Wendy girl, you better watch. But he's reaching for your time slot because Kelly Clarkson, they yanked his time slot. So, just all in all of this just looks bad for Wendy in general. Girl, you need to get your ass up and get back to work. I mean, the whole thing, you may not even be able to save it at this point, but I would go down windmilling. Bitch, I wouldn't just lay down and roll over all these years doing this show, and you just gonna lay down and roll over? Girl, you better than me. You are better than me, honey. My husband can have 22 babies, buy 3 neighbors, and all that. Buy them all cars, and I will be at work windmilling, trying to hold on to my space. Because when it's all over, said and done, the Wendy show is yours. Everything else, girl, is kind of being handled by somebody else. The Wendy show is Wendy. That's about you. It's worth fighting for, girl. All the rest of that I can't say. I don't know. You know, from what I'm hearing about your husband, is he worth fighting for? Oh, swipe left. Let's roll right on and be as though we're talking about talk shows and we were talking about Steve Harvey. Come with me. Lean into me, my loves. Yes, it's becoming a weekly thing that we are talking about this broad, honey. Listen. You all know who I'm talking about. The infamous. Yes, Monique. Come with me, my loves. Child. Okay, so listen. Monique and Sydney, her and her husband, you know they have their little show on YouTube, and she's actually spoken about the whole situation, about her talking about cold cock and Steve Harvey. And Monique said it was a joke. It was a joke, and it's been taken out of context. And you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool with that, and I'm actually happy about that, because I really didn't want them feuding like that. They are like two of the best, you know, comedians that are out there, and I like them both, so I really didn't want them fighting like that, so I'm happy that it was actually a joke. Now, in the midst of that, what her and Sydney did do during that show is took and drug. Do you hear me? Wendy Williams, girl, grabbed her by her bangs, wrapped them up around their hand, honey, and it was more so Sydney than Monique. Baby, drug Wendy into the oncoming traffic. All about her relationship. And, you know, Wendy has actually drugged them in the past about them having this open relationship and all this. But listen, grabbed it, wrapped it up, baby, and drug Wendy into the street. Baby had told her, no, baby, but from the looks of things, honey, we're not the only ones who have an open relationship. I said, oh. And the fact that Wendy hasn't come out and said anything about it, and I don't believe she ever will. I don't believe she ever will. But hey, that, you know, Sydney and Monique, honey, gotta love them. Gotta love them. You all stay on the tongue of the people, honey, because y'all got shit with y'all. Yes, y'all do, honey. Fabulous couple. Fabulous, honey. Swipe left. Okay, so our youth. You know, I've actually, you know, you all know I have my own kids, and also I've worked in the school with children. I've actually ran daycare as well. So I like kids, and I like the little youth, and it's good to see them coming and flourishing and turning into their own people and learning to talk their shit, okay? I want you all to take a look at this clip when I say about little people learning to talk their shit. Take a look at this clip.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wakida. When I am 6 years old, when I grow up, I want to be a stripper.
This is one of the times, honey, when you say, I don't want the little people to talk, honey. I don't want the little people to talk. What has this baby seen inside her home? What has she seen inside her home? I'm like, child, what have you seen? What have you heard for you to say, and was she graduating kindergarten? And saying she wants to be a stripper. And the people were just laughing and kee-heeing. Can you imagine? Baby, I would have crawled up underneath one of those little itty-bitty tiny chair desks at the schoolhouse. I was embarrassed for her parents. And the bad part was, we don't have any clip, you know, in the clip it doesn't show who her parents were. I bet you they weren't even embarrassed. I bet you they thought it was funny. Babies raising babies. That was a mess. I ran into that in my travels this week, and I said, I have got to go talk about this. I couldn't believe it. I want to be a stripper. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with strippers. Not at all. Baby, I live for an exotic dancer. I like to be an old nasty piece of stripper, shaking it, popping it, dropping it, locking it, and doing tricks with costumes. You know, I love costumes, child. But I don't have a problem with strippers, exotic dancers, you know, any of the, because they are different. Strippers and exotic dancers are definitely different. You need to know that. Showgirls, something else. Yes, I'm down with all that. I love it all. But it's not what I want to hear my kindergartners saying is their career choice. I'm thinking more president, governor, doctor, architect, artist, cook, chef, a model. I'll take a model. Yeah, and that's about as far as I'm gonna go. I'll take a model. But no, baby, stripper, not on the list. Not in none of the little classes that I was walking through. Not down at my desk down to the schoolhouse. Not a stripper. Not a stripper. I don't know, child. Where we going, honey? Swipe left. Okay, there was actually, you know what? There was some really sad news that actually came out. And this was early in the week on Monday. It actually happened on Sunday, which was the 3rd. And Kristoff St. John. If that name doesn't ring a bell, it probably should. He actually played on The Young and the Restless for 900 years, child. He actually played the character of Neil. Everybody knew Neil. Everybody loved Neil from Young and the Restless. He actually died at the age of 52. He was actually found, and it was due, what they're saying is it's due to like an alcohol poisoning is what they're saying. But they're leading us that it's down the road of like a suicide situation. He had some really cryptic tweets, or there was one in particular. What happened was, there were friends and family kind of watching Kristoff, because a few years ago, back in 2014, his son actually committed suicide in a mental institution, and he was having a really, really hard time with that. Okay? And then everything seemed to have kind of leveled out, and he seemed to be doing pretty good. He had just gotten engaged not long ago, a few months back in 2018, and then all of a sudden there was this tweet, and I believe the tweet was on Friday or Saturday, that said, and I'm paraphrasing, but the tweet basically said that the grieving for a child who has died ends when the parent reunites with the child on the other side. And then a day or two later, boom, he's found dead in his home. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. And they're basically, like I said, they're saying alcohol poisoning, but it's all basic, like a suicide situation. And I don't know, that's just it really, that kind of shook me, you know, because again, and he was young, 52 years old. So that was really, really sad. I'm not staying in this area. That was really sad. Really sad. And on that, I'm going to go ahead on and swipe left. Rest in peace to Kristoff St. John and child. My condolences to the family, because he actually has young children as well. He still has, I believe it's 2 young children from a previous relationship. So, condolences to the family. Rest in peace, Kristoff St. John. Swipe left. Okay, now listen to this. You all, I don't know what it's going to take. There's messages that have actually gotten out, and for some reason, folks really do believe that they can just do and say as they please and just spew racial hate wherever and whenever they choose. Now, tell me what is actually going down to the Taco Bell that gets you so excited that this has to go down. Take a look at this.
Call the cops. Shut up, bitch. She hit me. Get out. She hit me. Get out. She assaulted me. Get out. I want her put in jail. Get out.
You said nigger.
Get out. I don't care. Get out. You have no right to hit me.
You have no right to call other people niggers, sir.
Get out. Call the cops. Get out. You fucking nigger. You're a fucking low-life little bitch. Get out, bitch. Get out. You a little low-life.
Sir, I'll call the police on you.
I'll beat your ass. I'm almost right, nigga. I'll beat your ass, nigga. I'll beat your ass, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get the fuck out. What's up, boy? I'll beat your ass. Nigga, do it again. I'll beat your ass. Don't hit me. I'll beat your ass. I didn't do anything wrong. I'll beat your ass, nigga. I didn't do anything wrong.
It's over with.
I'll beat your ass,
It's over
nigga.
with. He got reserved. Call people nigger and stuff. Don't say nigger. That's some racist ass shit right there. At Taco Bell. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. Shit really just went down, bro.
You got me fucked up.
For real? For real? Down to the Taco Bell. Now, sir, you're 107 years old. And little girl, she's 12. Okay? First of all, how y'all's little conversation even got that far left is just blows my mind. And the thing about it is, they both wrong. In my eyes, they're both wrong. He ain't have no business talking to her like that. He had no business calling her out of her name and slinging racial slurs like it's publicly acceptable and it's cool and everybody's agreed you're allowed to say, I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. Well, the fact that she was kicking you in your ass while escorting you out the store would kind of tell you that, baby, you said something wrong. You said something that she didn't care for. And you were leaving. You weren't even trying to hang around. You were leaving willingly as the little girl was kicking you in the ass and cussing you out. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. And then she calling them the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, the N-word. I was like, a mess. And why I say that she is wrong. And at some point, I would love to see, I don't even know when this actually happened. This was something that one of my Chez Trésor family has actually sent me in my inbox. And I thank you guys for, y'all love to send me stuff, honey, and I love to receive it, honey, so I know what's going on. The reason I say that she's wrong, well, the reason I say she's wrong, first of all, she had no business put her hands on him. She had no business put her hands on him. Because one, depending on what age he is, she has to worry about elder abuse. Because that is a thing. Elder abuse. Just like older people aren't allowed to hit young people aren't allowed to hit old people either. That's elder abuse. That's an issue. That's an issue. So you're not allowed to do that. And then the other thing is Taco Bell. You're working. You had no business coming from behind the counter. You had no business cussing out their customer. And you definitely had no business putting your hands on them. And now it's all on film. So I promise you, you're going to lose your job. You're definitely going to lose your job. And he's probably going to sue Taco Bell, and he'll probably sue her too. He'll probably sue her too. And it's bad, but I just think that the way that it actually went down and the fact that it's all on camera, I think it's going to get ugly. I think that's going to get ugly. And though he was wrong. He had no business cussing her and calling her out of her name and doing all that stuff. He's probably going to end up on the winning end of everything. You all tell me in the comments what you all think that this was going to happen from this. And I wouldn't even be surprised with the way things go. Even the guy who was behind her, that was bringing her in and saying, can you believe all this down to talk about? He probably going to lose his job too. And whoever was back there behind in the staff that was back there recording, they're probably going to be losing their job too. So McDonald's, look, there's going to be some folks out there who are all looking for a job, baby. So, clear up some spaces. Clear up some spaces. I think that's going to be real ugly. It was really handled improperly, in my opinion. I think it was handled improperly by the people. You were a victim until you came from around the counter. Once you came from around the counter, it was a wrap. You were then going to be perceived, I believe, as the aggressor at that point. Sad, but I believe it's true. You all tell me what y'all think down there in the comments. But listen, you all better stop with this racial stuff. Y'all better stop it. You all better stop sitting around thinking that you can say and do what you want to people. You cannot. You cannot swipe left. And that last story, the little racial story, we might as well continue on. That was just a small piece. Check this out. This is definitely going to really wear you thin with somebody who we've been holding on and we've been riding with for years. You got it. Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson from the Take It movies. Child, I know tons of people who love African American people, who love the whole Taken series, lived for the movie, and lived for Liam Neeson and the roles he's played. I've enjoyed many, many movies by Liam Neeson, but I had to look at Liam and say, what in the hell is really going on? You never know. You never know. Here it was. Liam actually he has a movie coming out. He has a new movie coming out. And he was doing some press. And he went and he did some morning show, and I believe it was actually overseas, but he did this little morning show, and he was answering a question about how he basically prepares himself for those dark spaces that he goes to in the roles that he actually plays in those movies. And good old Liam decides to start telling a story that was about 30 years ago. A friend of his, a woman, female friend, had gotten raped. And he was going back through what actually had went on. And in telling the story, he says that she was raped. He led the conversation and asked her what the person looked like. What color were they? What color were they? He asked that. She didn't offer it. He asked that, and these were his words. He asked what color. And she told him it was a black man. And at that point, he became so angry that he said for like a month, he kind of walked around with a weapon on him, and he would actually frequent different pubs that he knew that black men would actually frequent. And he was wishing and hoping for what he quoted, a black man to start something with him so I could kill the black bastard. Really, Liam? So you could kill the black bastard. So you were literally rolling around town playing vigilante and planning on killing an innocent black male. Really, because you were angry because someone violated your female friend. Okay. So, for me, there's a couple things here. Why you felt the need to tell that story is completely beyond me. Why, and you're old, Liam, you're not young. You're not young. You're not young to the point where you would be making these types of mistakes. On what planet did you think that it was going to be, oh yes, now that was a good story. Yes, that was something really, really good to say during an interview. Where are your PR people? And you probably don't even have any because you've been in this so long. Like, are you kidding me? And I know good and well you definitely know that you have African American fans. And how did you think those African American fans were going to take to you saying that? Now, he followed it up with, you know, I realized that was just, you know, so wrong of me to do, and this, that, thing, and the other, and I actually seek help after that, and I got myself some help, and all of that. That didn't clean up what you said. That was actually really bullshit, because what help is it that you actually seek that actually makes you stop being racist? And then that was the thing, because there was, well, I mean, you could actually do it. You can learn, because racism, a lot of it is very much learned. So you can unlearn that. You know, you can actually be around black people and or whatever race of people that you don't like and learn their culture, and then realize that the differences between all of us are really not that vast, and you can learn to be more accepting, and you can learn to love. You can definitely do that. Just like you can learn to hate, you can learn to love. But my thing is, here's where I'm going to tell you where the issue is. But there were people, Whoopi Goldberg was one of them. She said, you know, she knows for a fact that Liam is not racist. She doesn't believe he's racist. She has been friends with him for a number of years, and she doesn't feel like he's racist. Michelle Rodriguez actually is in the movie with him. She says that she's convinced that he's not racist because, you know, he did a movie with Viola Davis, and the way he kissed her and put his tongue down her throat he couldn't possibly be racist. Okay, listen here. Michelle, I'm going to get in your ass first. You ever heard of a little thing called slavery? Ever heard of it? Honey, listen. Slave owners stayed pillaging and raping black women. Do you think that they liked them? Do you think that slave owners actually liked black people? I'm just going to leave that right there. He kissed her. So that means he can't be racist. Right. And he's an actor. And he got paid big money for kissing her. So you really believe, whatever, girl. I think you're a little slow, but that's okay. You know, and yeah, I said it, and I ain't taking it back. That was a little slow. Her remark, where's your PR people? Because somebody should have told you to just shut up. Again, too much sharing. Liam shared too much. Now you sharing too much because this hit Michelle in the pocket too. I'm going to tell you in a minute. It hit Michelle in the pocket too. But I'm going to get to that in a second. Whoopi, what is that comment that you're making? That you don't think that he's racist because y'all been friends for a number of years. Dig this, Whoopi. I love you to death, baby, but dig this. If Liam was not racist, and he went and he seeked help. So I'm going to go ahead with what he said. I seeked help. I got help. I don't have those feelings anymore. That's a lie. That's a lie because they asked you in the interview how you prepare yourself for those roles. And you said, I go back to a time when I felt. And that's how I invoke those feelings. If you can go back and invoke those feelings forward and stay in them for 30, 40 days, however long it takes to make the movie, those feelings are still really, really very real for you, correct? Correct? So the emotions have not actually changed. So whatever you called yourself doing or whatever therapy you had, it didn't work. It didn't work. And truly, I don't even remember any of the movies that he's actually done aren't even like Taken and all of that stuff. It's not even a race thing. It's just about someone violating and snatching. You go all the way back to the whole black-white of it all to invoke those feelings to be able to pull your character through. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I definitely can tell you that I'll be swiping left on Liam Neeson and his new movie, and he can just go on about his business, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no apology. Y'all know them apologies, honey. I don't want to hear no apology. And this was the thing. Lionsgate. They didn't buy it either. Because Lionsgate is the one who the new movie's coming out with. The movie's coming out, I'm sure. But Lionsgate pulled all promo for the movie. So that's why I can imagine that Michelle brought her goofball behind on out at a corner talking. But they pulled all the promo, baby. So the movie's going to literally have to do what it do all by itself. No red carpets, no nothing, none of that. So, you know, this is a year of learning. I told y'all that at the beginning of the year. Hashtag YOL, honey. Year of learning. You all are going to learn, honey. You can't just blurt whatever you want out of your mouth. Sometimes you have to think it and keep it to yourself. Keep the shit to yourself. And then in this, black hate kills red carpets in 2019. Hashtag year of learning. Swipe left. Let's talk about a little bit of fashion, shall we? For just a little bit. Two things that I want to talk about. Fashion that the girls really, really blew up and everything was in red. First thing. Girl, you had better do it. I don't know what it is, baby, but these designers love her and they love to dress her and everything comes off so good and she looks so damn good. Cardi B's Bizarre cover was everything. That red dress, I had to actually zoom all the way in and look. I didn't even know it was Cardi. And Cardi, I tell you all the time, I think Cardi's a beautiful girl. And the camera loves her and the designers love her. She wears some of the baddest shit ever. But this whole thing and the whole feel of the shoot, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Everything about it. And the red dress, I didn't even know it was Cardi B until I zoomed all the way and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Cardi. Girl, you better do it. And there were other pictures as well they're beautiful. One of her on a horse, fabulous. But the cover, that cover with the red gown, absolutely gorgeous. And I was totally here for it. Totally here for it. All right, another red fashion moment I've actually had this week. Take a look right here. Yes, child, you all know. Child, listen. Listen. You know I love an old nasty fall, child. I do. Susan Lucci, 72 years old. And I can laugh because she didn't get hurt. She didn't get hurt. She fell. She got right back up. And everything was all cool. But Susan Lucci was actually on the runway and she tried to do a little spin in this voluptuous gown and ended up, bam, and fell. Okay? I loves me old nasty fall. And like I said, I will laugh when people fall. I do. I laugh. But I laugh when I fall. It's happened. I have fallen and the shit's funny. Okay, but what's not funny and what actually really, of course, when Susan fell, that kind of caused a couple headlines and it caused some of the media to start talking. But it was a good message that actually ended up getting out with the fact that she fell. Because they may not have pushed it the way they did. She fell during the American Heart Association's Red Dress Fashion Show, which is actually about heart disease awareness, and more so heart disease awareness in women. It was a Reuben Singer gown as well, you guys. But this past October, Susan Lucci actually had a scare with her heart. She just narrowly missed a severe heart attack, basically. She was out. She had some symptoms and she kind of ignored them. She said like 2 times. Then the 3rd time she had a symptom, she was out at a boutique and she got like pressure in her chest and just felt like it wasn't normal. The owner of the boutique ended up rushing her to the hospital. She ended up going into surgery right away and saved her life. It literally saved her life. So this is what I'm saying. Had she not fallen, the message would not have got pushed forward as fast as it did again. And I was glad that Susan actually shared that. I share all the time about early detection. I am actually, I've had a battle with cancer, and early detection is why I'm actually sitting here in front of you right now. So, and it's not just with cancer, with everything. Early detection is the way to go. When you feel pain, when you feel discomfort, that's your body telling you something is wrong. Something is wrong and you need to, I know it's scary. I know it's scary. And I said, and you guys, I know y'all hear me say it all the time. You're going to hear me say it again. And y'all can't swipe me because I made it up. So we'll swipe when I get ready to swipe. So just listen. Early detection is the key. When your body is signaling you that something is wrong, please, please, please go to the doctors and check it out. She did that. She went and she checked it out. And this is something I did not know. Did you guys know that heart disease is the #1 killer of women? I had no idea. And that came straight off the books, honey. heart disease. #1 killer of women. So listen, about 95% of my fan base are women. I want to talk to you guys. You understand me? I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk about you. I want to talk to you. So please, anything that body of yours is your best friend. It's your best friend. If your body is telling you something, please listen. Please listen, and then go and find a professional to figure out what it is that's actually going on. I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk about you. So now on that, we can actually say thank you to Susan Lucci for busting your ass in that good old gown and making us laugh, and then making us pay attention to what's actually going on. Thank you, Susan Lucci, and swipe left. Okay, another thing that happened this week that I want to talk to you guys about briefly is taking care of your business. You need to stay on top of taking care of your business, because sometimes when you don't take care of your business, you end up being displaced. 21 Savage. Poor thing is actually facing deportation. He literally is going to be deported. Here, everybody's thinking the child is from Atlanta. He's not really from Atlanta. He's originally from the UK, from a town, it's Dominica, in the UK. He has actually been here since he's been 12. He's been here since he was 12. He was here on a work visa. That work visa expired in 2006. Now, there's been a whole lot of talk about paperwork was filed, but things weren't followed through. That's 2006. Are you telling me that there's paperwork that was filed in 2006? It is now 2019. And the paperwork never got finished, and it's just been floating out there. And you act like that's not over your head. So now we got all this mess going on. 45 is doing what he do. And now it looks to me, what it looks like to me is they're making an example out of him. You know, and though he's done things wrong, you know, he's had run-ins with the law and all. He's done like a couple things. You didn't get your paperwork right. You've had run-ins with the law. You know, all of those things will get you deported. You know what I mean? And I think it happens more times than not that people get comfortable. And they don't. This is a really serious case of not taking care of your business. But, you know, people won't take care of their business and they get comfortable doing what they're doing. And I think at one point, 21 Savage probably just started believing that he really was from Atlanta. But now, you got a whole issue going on. And the issue has actually trickled into some other stuff. But, yeah, that's what's going on with 21 Savage. And then you end up becoming like a star on top of it. So it's like putting a light on you like, hello, look at me. Just crazy. You all take care of your business. Take care of your business. Don't get caught up. When you know you got something that you need to do, take care of it. You don't want to be displaced. Okay? This is the type of games they playing now. Folks want to build walls and throw folks over the wall and kicking folks out the country. Take care of your business. But like I said, this trickled into some other bull crap. Now, you know, folks find humor and all kind of stuff. So they got to making memes and carrying on about 21 Savage and his situation. So 3 people who have actually got caught up in the mess this week. One was Demi Lovato. Now, child Demi, I don't know, girl, why you even indulged, because you know you're not built for that. You're not built for issues out here in these streets. You're not. You've proven that time after time. You're not built for that. So you needed to shut your mouth. But she was tweeting and laughing and kikiing about the memes. And folks went and got to dragging Demi and telling her she needed to kill herself and give her some opioids. And I mean, they went real deep and real ugly with her, to the point where that baby went and deleted her whole Twitter and went to running. But You should have said that. When you know you're not built to get out in these streets and windmill, then don't. Now, one that really is all right with getting out here windmilling, Chris Brown. Baby Chris, you know, laughing, little memes come through, Chris kikied a little bit. And then Offset decided he gonna chastise Chris. Child, and it didn't go well because you know Chris is about all that. Chris is about all that life, and it's just been a back and forth. And Chris is telling Offset, "Come on, I'm ready to catch my fade. Come on and whoop my ass." You know, they didn't went so far as to they talk about whooping each other's ass, and Chris told Offset, "Come on, I'm ready. Come on, stop on by. I'll be home at 4." I said, "Stop. I'll be home at 4. I'm ready to catch my fade." And I just had to laugh because I'm like, Offset, don't you got a whole lot of shit going on? I don't even think you in a position to really, even if, Chris didn't have to laugh at it because it really ain't funny. But Offset, are you the one to carry the message? I don't think so. I don't think you're the best carrier pigeon of the message to tell anybody what they're doing wrong, and especially not on social media. So just a mess. This whole thing is just creating a whole mess. And Offset, don't go by Chris's house at 4 o'clock. Don't go by Chris's house. It won't turn out good, I promise you. Just don't do it. Anyway, child, swipe left on all of this mess, child. Take care of y'all's business. That's our show for this week. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you all, because if you don't show up, who the hell would I be talking to? I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I always say, baby, we're going to cut through the bull. We're going to sort through the mess. And when we get all the facts right, we're going to what? We're going to swipe left. DJ, take me on out of here.